Welcome, my friends, to Timeless Home Inspirations. Let's take a slow breath together. Inhale and exhale. Today, I want to invite you not just into a video, not just into a list of design ideas, but into an experience, an extended, thoughtful journey into the heart of what makes a home feel alive. Because here's the truth. A home is never just walls and furniture. It's the atmosphere that greets you at the end of a long day. It's the light that wakes you in the morning. It's the textures under your hands, the air you breathe, the way the space whispers to you, you belong here. But many modern homes, as beautiful as they are, sometimes feel a little cold. Clean, minimalist, yes. Efficient, yes. But do they truly embrace us? Do they soothe our souls? Or do they sometimes feel like art galleries, perfect but distant? That's where biophilic design changes everything. Biophilia, our innate connection to the natural world, reminds us that we are not separate from nature. We crave sunlight. We breathe easier around plants. We relax by the sound of water. We feel calmer when surrounded by wood, stone, and organic forms. This philosophy isn't about decoration. It's about reconnection. When you bring nature into your home, even in subtle ways, you don't just improve your interior design. You improve your life. So today we'll explore 10 biophilic ideas. 10 ways to infuse your home with warmth, elegance, and the grounding presence of the earth. Each idea is not just a tip, but an invitation. A story, a reflection, a possibility. And I encourage you, don't rush. This is not a video to skim through quickly. Let it unfold slowly like a sunrise. Let each description linger. Let your imagination wander. Picture how these ideas might live in your home, in your life. By the end of this journey, you might not only have design ideas, you might also rediscover what home truly means. So settle in. Make yourself a cup of tea or just lean back in your chair. And let's begin this journey together, into Earthborn Elegance, biophilic ideas for a warm, modern home. The soul of a living wall. Let's begin with something breathtaking. Something that makes you pause the moment you walk into a room. The living wall. Imagine this. You step into your living room and instead of a plain white wall or a row of bookshelves, your eyes are met by an entire vertical garden. A tapestry of vibrant ferns, trailing ivy, mosses, maybe even flowering plants. It's not just decor, it's alive. When you stand before it, the air feels different. Fresher. Purer. Almost like stepping into a forest after the rain. You breathe deeper without even realizing it. The living wall is more than beauty. It's a dialogue. A relationship between you and nature. You water it, tend it, trim it. And in return it grows, shifts, surprises you. One day a new sprout appears. Another day a flower blooms. It evolves with time just like you do. What makes it magical is that it doesn't remain static like art on a wall. It's living art. A dynamic, ever-changing masterpiece that becomes part of your home's heartbeat. And it doesn't have to be massive. Even a smaller panel in a dining area or a narrow strip in a hallway can completely change the mood of your space. Every guest who visits will notice it immediately. They'll ask about it, lean closer, smile. Because it's not common, it's special. And more importantly, it's life-affirming. I remember the first time I saw one in a small urban apartment. It wasn't grand. Just a modest corner filled with cascading greenery. But the effect was profound. The entire apartment felt more spacious, more alive, more hopeful. The living wall is not just an idea, it's an experience. Embracing organic shapes. Now let's shift our focus to something more subtle but just as powerful, organic shapes. Modern design often loves precision, straight lines, sharp angles, perfect geometry. And that's beautiful in its own way. But nature doesn't do straight lines. Rivers curve. Stones smooth over time. Mountains roll. Trees bend. When you bring these organic shapes into your home, you soften its energy. Imagine a sofa that doesn't feel boxy, but instead flows with gentle curves like a cloud. Or a dining table with an uneven, live edge. Its shape following the natural contour of the tree it came from. These forms remind us of the natural world. They're soothing, calming, and they add a kind of quiet poetry to our spaces. Psychologists even say we feel safer and more comfortable around curved lines. Our eyes rest on them more easily. Our bodies relax when surrounded by softness instead of sharpness. And you don't need to overhaul your home. Start with something small. A round mirror instead of a rectangular one. A wavy rug instead of a perfect square. A lamp with a sculptural, flowing form. Layer these into your space and you'll notice the difference almost immediately. Suddenly, the room doesn't just look modern. It feels alive, approachable, warm. Organic shapes are like whispers of nature, reminding us that beauty isn't always about perfection. Sometimes it's about flow. The warmth of raw wood. When you walk into a modern home, what do you notice first? Often it's the surfaces, the countertops, the tables, the cabinetry. And sometimes they feel a little too polished, too finished, too perfect. But nature loves imperfection. Nature celebrates irregularity. That's why raw wood carries such deep emotional weight. Picture this. A dining table carved from a single slab of wood, its edges following the organic curves of the tree it came from. You run your fingers along it and you feel not just a surface, you feel history. The ridges, the grain, the knots. Every mark is a memory of wind, rain, sunlight, time. It's grounding. You're not just eating dinner at a table, you're gathering around a piece of earth itself. Now imagine a kitchen with sleek, glossy cabinets. Modern, streamlined, functional. Beautiful, yes. But then in the center, an island made of raw wood. Suddenly the space transforms. It becomes warmer, more human. The island isn't just a piece of furniture. It's the hearth, the gathering place, the soul of the room. Raw wood tells a story no synthetic surface can tell. And when paired with stone, metal, or glass, it sings. The contrast between raw and refined is what makes modern biophilic design feel timeless. Engaging the sense of touch. We so often design for the eye. But a home should be felt. Think about it. The first thing you do in the morning is place your bare feet on the floor. Is it cold tile? Or a thick wool rug? One startles you awake. The other greets you with warmth. Textures are the language of comfort. The linen curtain that billows in the breeze. The woven basket that holds your blankets. The rough stone wall that begs to be touched. Close your eyes and imagine. You're sitting in a reading nook. A chunky knit blanket drapes over your lap. You run your fingers along its surface. Soft, uneven, comforting. The chair beneath you is upholstered in natural linen, slightly coarse but breathable. The rug under your toes is thick, grounding. Around you, every surface invites touch, invites presence. That's the gift of natural textures. They don't just decorate a room, they enrich it. They remind you that home is not just something you see. It's something you inhabit with your whole body. The gift of natural light. Light is the oldest form of design. Long before furniture, long before architecture, there was sunlight. And our bodies respond to it instinctively. The gentle glow of morning light makes us feel hopeful. The midday brightness gives us energy. The golden rays of evening calm us down. A biophilic home understands this rhythm. It doesn't hide from sunlight, it embraces it. Floor-to-ceiling windows, skylights, glass doors, even well-placed mirrors to bounce light deeper into a room. Picture a dining room where one wall is entirely glass, opening onto a garden. You sit down for breakfast and the sunlight pours in, illuminating your table. The light dances across the wood, glows through your glass of water, spills warmth into the corners. Even when you're indoors, you feel connected to the world outside. Natural light is more than illumination, it's life itself. The presence of water. Close your eyes. Imagine the sound of water trickling gently over stones. Immediately you feel calmer, more centered. Water has always been sacred. Rivers shaped civilizations. Oceans connect us. Rain nourishes the earth. And when you bring water into your home, even in small ways, you tap into that deep ancient comfort. A tabletop fountain in the living room. A reflecting pool in the courtyard. Even an aquarium designed as a minimalist glass sculpture. Each one adds movement, sound, life. Water changes the energy of a space. It slows you down, encourages stillness. It's like a gentle reminder. Life is always flowing, always moving, always renewing itself. Indoor trees and large plants. We're used to houseplants, pots on windowsills, small succulents on desks. But imagine going bigger. Imagine an actual tree in your living room. A tall olive tree in a sunlit corner. A graceful fiddle leaf fig reaching toward the ceiling. A bamboo cluster softening a stairwell. Suddenly the room feels transformed. Elevated. Dramatic. Alive. Large plants don't just decorate, they define. They create scale, rhythm, architecture. And they connect you to the seasons. New leaves in spring, rich greenery in summer, subtle shifts in autumn. It's like having a piece of the forest living inside your walls. Earthy color palettes. Colors shape emotion. A bright red wall excites. A deep blue ceiling calms. But in biophilic design we return to the colors of the earth. Soft clay, warm sand, forest green, stone gray. The muted, timeless tones of soil, wood, and sky. When you paint a room in earthy hues, you create an environment that feels stable, safe, enduring. It's like being wrapped in a blanket of nature itself. These tones aren't flashy, but they're eternal. You never tire of them because your body instinctively recognizes them as home. Outdoor-indoor blending. The ultimate goal of biophilic design is to erase the boundary between indoors and outdoors. Imagine sliding glass walls that disappear, merging your living room with a patio garden. Imagine a bathroom where a skylight frames the sky, or a shower that opens onto a private courtyard. Imagine a bedroom where you wake up to the view of a forest, uninterrupted by walls. When your home becomes an extension of the natural world, you stop feeling like you're enclosed. Instead you feel free, expansive, connected. A sanctuary of stillness. At the heart of it all, biophilic design is not about plants, wood, water, or light. It's about creating a sanctuary, a place where you can retreat from the noise of the world. A place where your nervous system calms, your breathing slows, your spirit rests. Maybe it's a meditation corner with soft light and natural materials. Maybe it's a bedroom stripped of clutter, filled only with textures and colors that soothe. Maybe it's a garden view study where your thoughts finally find clarity. A sanctuary doesn't have to be large. It just has to be intentional. A corner of stillness in a busy world. That's the gift of biophilia. It reminds us that home is not just shelter, it's refuge. And so we arrive at the end of our journey. 10 ideas. 10 invitations to bring the earth back into your home. But really, this isn't just about design. It's about belonging. It's about remembering that we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. And when we weave nature into our homes, we weave it back into ourselves. Maybe for you, the idea that spoke loudest was the living wall. A bold, breathing statement. Maybe it was the sanctuary of stillness. A quiet corner just for you. Or maybe it was something as simple as sunlight, reminding you that design doesn't have to be complicated. Whatever it was, I hope this video has planted a seed. A seed that will grow into something beautiful in your home and in your life. Thank you for joining me on this long, slow, thoughtful journey. If you found inspiration here, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which idea touched you the most? And if you want to keep exploring, make sure to subscribe because this is only the beginning. The journey to a timeless, nature-connected home never ends. Until next time, may your home always be warm, elegant, and alive.